Greetings folks, this beautiful creation is the Brah, B-R-A-H, from FlightPoint in Ukraine. This is a beautiful looking balsa slope plank, and if you think it looks familiar, well, that's because it's the same design as the Shaka, which I reviewed about 4 years ago, also from FlightPoint in Ukraine. So this one is a little bit under a metre wingspan, and the Brah is about 1.5 scale of that, so a little bit under 1.5 metres wingspan. Comes as a laser cut balsa kit with all the balsa plywood pieces, carbon spars and joiners and carbon push rods and all of that sort of stuff. Have to get your own coverage and servos, and you might notice that there are 4 servos in the wing, so we have elevons as well as flaps. So because it is lightweight and very floaty, you have the option of using flaps for crow braking, which will be quite exciting. It's also designed with a motor in mind as well, so you can add a little motor and folding prop on the front there. You can get an option with 2 fuselages, so that you can have one powered fuselage and one pure sloping fuselage. So mine will be the pure sloping version. Now, I haven't flown it yet, and although the wind is in the right direction for this site here, I really need to do a glide test first before I throw it off here, because there's very little recovery if anything goes wrong here. So I might have to wait for that. First of all, let's go over to the FlightPoint website and we'll have a look at the specs and the price and all that sort of stuff. Here's the Brah 1.5 metre RC plank with the flaps, not quite 1.5 metres I don't think. There's the basic price, $214 US. You can choose an extra fuselage if you want, and you can get the powertrain as well if you want for $124. That gives you the motor, the ESC, and the prop and spinner. And they're the through fuselage electrical connectors, which make plugging everything in or removing the wings nice and easy. Here's the lovely colour 1:1 scale plans. You can build it on top of this. Makes building very easy. And yeah, it's like a 1.5 times scale Shaka XL they're calling it, sort of. Does have flaps and elevons, so you can have full span elevons, separate elevons, all elevons, just elevons, or separate elevons and flaps for crow braking, which is the way I have mine set up. And the technical data, around about 500 grams, mine is about 470 I think, wingspan 1435 millimeters, and the servos recommended metal gear 10 to 15 grams, and these are the servos that Gene has put in this model for me. Recommended battery 2 to 3S, 550 to 700 LiPo plus whatever extra nose weight you need, and CG about 38 millimeters from the wing leading edge at the root, and there are the recommended throws. Very minimal throws apparently for pitch, so we'll see how that goes when we launch it. And there's a detailed assembly instruction here too, which goes through all the necessary steps to build. They're very good kits to build. I've built the Maverick glider, and that was probably a little bit more complicated than this one, so this would be a reasonably easy and straightforward build, even if you haven't done much balsa building like I hadn't before building the Maverick. There's the tail, and that just slips in there, and a couple of carbon fibre pegs go in these holes to hold it in position, so it's not even glued in, it's just held in there like that. And the wing assembly and covering, you don't get the covering or the servos in the kit. And here are some radio settings for it too. I did mine a little bit more simply than this, just a standard elevon mix. Reduced the rates a fair bit so that my throws weren't too outrageous. And I had the crow braking on the throttle lever, throttle stick. So it'll be very interesting to see how it goes. Now all I have to do is wait for the weather to be kind enough. Alright, we have a nice mown field for a test glide. Battery, you can see I've got 2 18650s end to end. They just happen to fit nicely and put the CG in the correct spot. All up weight is about 470 grams. And I've set it up with roughly the recommended throws. And there's my crow braking on the throttle stick. But anyway, let's just see how we go. Oops. Why did that go straight down? It wants to nosedive. That's better. Still wanting to go nose down a bit. And we're a bit asymmetrical too, I think, are we? Should be about right. That is trimmed up a little bit too far, maybe. Wind keeps swirling around. Gentle throw, that's better. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, look at that, that's better. Nice, alright, that's about ready. It seems to be turning left a little bit. So I'll try it with a little bit more right hand trim. Seem to have the right amount of reflex now for the CG that I've got. That may be wrong, of course. Yeah, I can work with that. Alright, pretty much ready to throw off a cliff now. Just have to wait for the right wind direction. Well, here we are. It's too windy, but it's going to be the only chance to get flying for a while, so I thought I'd give it a go. I may destroy it, but let's just see. Oh well, didn't lose it. Alright, let's try again. There we go. Now we can get some trim. She's a bit hairy. Oh, it's flying nicely now though. But trim is critical. Now we're better. Okay. Oh, beautiful. Try the yeah, we're cruising now. There is too much wind for a maiden for sure, but we're in control now. Oh, yeah, looking good. Got pretty languid aileron throws. There's my flaps. It looks like it slows down pretty quickly. It's wanting to make it go nose down, so I'll have to adjust that. But look at this. Oh, beautiful. I'm a bit up and down. I've got a bit too much elevator throw probably. Nice loop there. I think I could do with more aileron and less elevator. And I'd really like to try it in light winds. Woohoo! Looks beautiful. Still need a bit more trim. Could probably do with some ballast in it too. Oh, beautiful. Inverted, very nice. No dramas. Yeah, a bit more aileron throw and a bit less elevator throw I'm looking for. Ah, lovely. Well, we survived, but I would definitely recommend starting out on light wind day. Oh, look at that, beautiful. Smooth. Look at that accelerate into the loop. Alright, see how we can do for a landing. Maybe not just yet. Get a bit more control. Trouble is I'm coming out of the sun into the landing. Just need a little bit more approach. The flaps on. Oop. Yeah, so the flaps slam it down into the ground. Whew. Wow. Well, that's a lot of fun. How do my trims end up? I can bring the flaps up a bit and the ailerons down a bit, I think. Alright, let's make some adjustments. Alright, let's go again. I've given myself a bit more aileron throw and a bit more spoiler in the crow braking, so that's ailerons up. That's looking pretty good. That's more aileron, that's better. Elevator's good. Crow braking much better, it's not diving down. That's great. Alright, so we're much better now. I could probably do with more. Oh, this is so easy to fly now. Does great inverted. Easy. Nice big controlled loop. Lovely rolls. Turn in. Beautiful. Needs some light wind flying maybe. Oh, look at it when the sun gets up through the ribs. It looks fantastic. Whoops, bit of a hard landing, but it's tough enough to handle it. And my battery's popped out. Well, that'd better do it for the moment. It's quite strong. We have had 20 knots. It's probably 17, 18 knots at the moment, which just makes it a bit hard to land and deal with trim and that sort of stuff. Probably not designed for this strength wind, but certainly can handle it. But yeah, that is beautiful. FlightPoint Brah, 1.5 metre clank. What a beautiful model. I'll hanging out for some lighter wind to see how it goes, just floating around rather than carving around at the moment. Anyway, fantastic. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.